Hello, I'm Ken, and this is The Ugly Truth. We're here today to do a autopsy of last night's game and a preview of today's game. See that Chris the Flash is in here and Jonathan is in here. Welcome. As usual, we're going to run this in an open panel format. So anybody who wants to come up, more than welcome. I'm going to start out last night's game. Diamondbacks ended up taking us 7-5. The winning pitcher was Shelby Miller. The losing pitcher was Mark Leiter Jr. Will Warren was our starter. He had a strong performance of 5 innings pitched. He only gave up 1 hit. He did have 4 walks and 4 strikeouts. His one hit was a 2-run homer to Diamondbacks Corbin Carroll. In the game, the Yankees used 5 pitchers. We had Fernando Cruz, Tim Hill, Mark Leiter Jr., Adam Ottavino, and Rick Hedrick. For the bullpen, it did not hold up for us last night, and that's the danger of having to rely heavily on the bullpen. If you pull 3 or 4 pitchers at any one given point, they have to be on point. Last night, Tim Hill lasted 1 1/3 innings and gave up 2 earned runs. Leiter only pitched 1/3 of an inning. He had 1 strikeout, 1 walk. He gave up 3 earned runs, including the grand slam to Eugenio Suarez. Suarez has been one of the big bats for the Diamondbacks this season, and he gave it a ride. Last night, one of the things that I saw that presented a huge problem for us was our 1 through 4 hitters. They went, it was Goldschmidt, Bellinger, Judge, and Chisholm. They went 0 for 15 with 1 walk. Hey, John, welcome. We had 1 walk and 9 strikeouts. So cumulatively, the top 4 did not get it done. We only managed to muster 5 hits in the game. And Jason Dominguez had his breakout game of the season. He had 2 hits, including his first homer. He played, in my opinion, a decent left field, but he was pulled after the 6th inning, defensive substitution. Not sure exactly why. He had a couple plays in the outfield. He looked all right. We had a bit of a lead on us, and that may be something that we're going to see here for a while. I see that Chris has got a note in here, and I'm going to bring it up. Dodgers made a trade. I haven't seen anything on that. You know who exactly was traded for whom? Continuing, Ben Rice had 2 hits last night also, including a home run in the bottom of the 9th. And Anthony Volpe had the 5th hit, and his was a home run also. The Yankees went 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position last night. And our runs, we ended up with 2 unearned runs when Naylor threw the ball over the head of the pitcher, trying to lead him as a place for first base. Let's see. Highlights. Will Warren pitched a fantastic game. The last couple of games in spring training, when he was facing up against regular lineups, he got a bit beat up. Coming in against a stout Arizona lineup who was hitting a team 327 and was second in the major leagues in batting average, he did well. He did very well. Last year, when Warren got into trouble, gave up the home run, walks, he collapsed right after that. He walked Gerardo Perdomo and then gave up the 2-run shot in the third inning to Corbin Carroll, and he kept in stride, kept on walking, and did what he was supposed to do. I think we're gonna be all right with that young man. I think he will do well this season. I was surprised to see that the Yankees brought Adam Ottavino, who we had signed earlier in the afternoon, into the game, and he ended up throwing 2/3 of an inning. He got a strikeout, gave up a walk. Jake McCarthy stole a base on him. He has a very slow delivery, and that was one of my concerns about the game, is that we were going to see a lot of running against our team. On the flip side, Corbin Burns, he was the starter for the D-backs. He only lasted 4 1/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 3 walks, did have 8 strikeouts. He gave up 4 runs, 2 of them were unearned, and the 2 runs that he gave up were home runs to Dominguez and to Volpe. The Diamondbacks employed 4 bullpen arms: Beeks, Miller, Justin Martinez, and A. Puck. And we ended up seeing, the back half of their very impressive squad of arms. Justin Martinez was throwing 102-mile-an-hour four-seam fastballs, 99-mile-an-hour sinkers, and 86-mile-an-hour slider. So he ended up pitching an inning, and needless to say, he struck out all 3 batters that he faced. And then in the 9th inning, A.J. Puck came in to secure the save. He pitched 1 inning. He had 2 strikeouts. He did give up 1 hit, and that was the home run to Ben Rice. Diamondbacks, offensively, they had only 5 hits. 2 of them were home runs. 1 was a double, so they gave up 3. We gave up 3 extra base hits on out of the 5. They had 7 runners on base, and they struck out 11 times. Home runs came from Corbin Carroll and Eugenio Suarez. I think that brings Suarez's total to 5 home runs this season. He was the NL Player of the Week. The thing that I've seen, my son is a huge Diamondbacks fan, and I've watched all the games with the Diamondbacks. But historically, the team scores a lot of runs from the 7th inning on. On Sunday, the Diamondbacks in the 8th inning were down by 4 runs, and they dropped an 8 spot in the 8th to come back to win that game. Last night, we dropped 4 runs in the 8th inning, and they went ahead and we couldn't get it done there. This evening, we face up again at 7:05 in the stadium against the Diamondbacks. Hey Dove, how's it going? This game is going to be broadcast on Amazon Prime. So if you don't have access to Amazon Prime and you're still interested in listening to play-by-play, there's some great guys that content creators that do that. Max from Max Covers TV, the Ace from the Ace Avenue, and we have NFE from the Strike Zone. They all call real good games, and you can't go wrong listening in on those guys. Tonight happens to be my bowling league night, so hence I'll be listening into one of the live streams, or maybe a combination of all three. If we look at the matchup, our matchup today is going to be Zach Gallen for the Diamondbacks. He's their 1A pitcher. He was their ace last season. And we will be running Carlos Rodon out for the Yankees. Zach Gallen was the opening day pitcher for the Diamondbacks. He had a rocky outing. He lost to the Cubs 10-6. He only mustered 4 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 4 base on balls, 4 strikeouts, and a homer. Gallen is an interesting pitcher in the fact that he features a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, a 12-6 curveball, a slider, a changeup, and a cutter. Gallen is primarily a high-low pitcher. He likes to throw the four-seam fastball up in the strike zone, and he has an excellent curveball that he can drop in for a strike at any given time that he chooses. With his slider and changeup, those are the pitches that he works in and out to right and left-handed hitters. So he's not overpowering, but he is a control-type pitcher. And if the Yankees have patient at-bats with him, there's a distinct possibility that we can get to him early, because when he gets hammered, that's when it happens, is within the first few innings. As y'all know, Carlos Rodon was our opening day starter. He had an excellent start. He is the only Yankee starter to actually record a win this season. He went 4 1/3 innings. He gave up 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. It was a home run. He had 7 strikeouts and 2 walks. Rodon features his primary pitch that he throws about 30% of the time is a slider. His number 2 pitch is the four-seam fastball that's running between 95, 96 miles an hour. He throws that about 28% of the time. Then he goes with a mix of other pitches, changeup, sinker, and a curveball. I think with the way that this Diamondback lineup hits and runs, he is going to have to, if he's going to be successful, he's going to have to use the changeup and the sinker a lot more than he has in the past. With regard to the lineups, we don't have a lineup yet. However, we do have the history of players that have faced off against these pitchers. For Yankees going up against, I'll bring Sean's comment up. we will get revenge tonight. Here's a comment from Jason, and welcome. Do you think that Boone messed up bringing in Leiter instead of Weaver? Well, interesting question, Jason. I think that Leiter this season has, and the spring training, has pitched very well. I don't think he could have anticipated that Leiter was going to give up the ghost. We do have Devin Williams, who's on the paternity list, so I'm anticipating that we're not going to have him for perhaps a week or so. And I think that Booney thought that he was going to have to use Weaver multiple times, so he didn't want to start off using him multiple innings in the first game of the set. So did he mess up? Probably not. Will he rethink it next time? I guess we'll see. Hey, Jonathan. Okay, I understand it. Hey, Cold Italian Pizza, how you doing? I'm going to drop the link once again in case anybody wants to hop up and give a shout out about last night's game or something that they anticipate seeing today. With regard to Yankees that have faced off against Zach Gallen, there's not a lot of success there. Bellinger has been up against Gallen 20 times, and he has a .050 batting average. Jazz Chisholm is another person who's faced Gallen a few times. He has 12 at-bats, and his batting average is 0. Trent Grisham has been up against Zach 24 times. He does have a home run with 3 RBIs, but his batting average is 167. Judge went 0 for 4 when he faced off against him last season when we played him, and the other hitters don't really have any crucible at bats. Now, if we look on the other side of the coin, Diamondbacks that have faced off against Carlos Rodon, they're not really much better. They have Randall Gretschik, who has seen Rodon 17 times. He has 1 home run, batting average of like 230 or so, 230, 235. You have Lourdes Gurriel. He's seen him approximately. We have Sean jumping in the background, so I will bring him up. Hey, Sean, welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Yankee S with the beard there. Ketel Marte, they're one of their big gun bats, has seen Rodon 18 times. He has a home run, but he's hitting 167. Hey, FJ, how's it going, brother? Appreciate you hopping on. Eugenio Suarez has seen Rodon 5 times, 5 at-bats, no home runs, but he's hitting 400, so he's got 2 hits off of him. And then Alec Thomas has seen 6 times and doesn't have any hits whatsoever. So there's not a large sample size for the bats, but the things that they do well. When runners get on board, the Diamondbacks run. I was very surprised yesterday with all the walks that we gave up that they did not make attempts to steal more than they did. I think one attempt by Corbin Carroll got negated because of a walk. He had the base stolen, but the pitcher threw ball force, no impact. And then Jake McCarthy stole the base, I want to say in the 8th inning. So you could see the running there. it's alive and well, and they will use it. And if we walk a boatload of batters tonight, anticipate seeing them run.
Yeah. And unfortunately, what really killed us was all the walks. And not just Leiter, but the guy in between Cruz and Leiter. I forget who it was, Tim Hill or whatever.
Tim Hill.
Yeah. There was too many walks. But I mean, yes, and part of it too was the ump he was terrible behind the plate, but he was terrible for both ways with the strike zone. But they just
Jazz in his second at bat decided to challenge the umpire, and after his first call 3 strikeout, and ended up following up with 3 more strikeouts.
Right. Yeah, Jazz didn't do him any favors, and he didn't really help the team. I mean, you challenge the ump, yeah, at least do something, or be, because when you show up an ump, it's just like if you do it refs or if you try to show up a cop, you're just gonna make it harder for yourself.
The game last night, like I said, Chris brings up a good point. Cruz out of the pen pitched well.
Oh yeah.
I will tell you what. For me, Fernando Cruz during spring training looked like a bag of ass. I was just freaking amazed that we had traded for a guy that was a high volume strikeout guy, but he couldn't seem to freaking throw a damn strike in spring training. Well, he pitched 2 innings last night and he had 4 strikeouts, and he looked very damn impressive.
Yeah, and no, Cruz really did impress me, and I was like, that what he showed last night was why I believe Cashman really traded for him. I mean, I was kind of surprised we were able to get someone for Trevi, but but hey, you know what? And spring training, that's why it's kind of like, sometimes they're really terrible and then they just have a sorry season, but other times they're terrible during spring and then, they go off during the season. I mean, look at Judge. He was batting below 100 during spring, or barely 100. Yeah. And he's batting like 400 now. So,
Yeah, last night before the game, he was hitting 545.
Right.
With 4 home runs, 11 RBIs. So he had some really good numbers, and obviously those numbers are not sustainable through a season. Although the Yankees, for 4 games set a record last night with the 3 home runs. So that brings our total up to what? 18 home runs 17. On the season thus far, or 17 home runs. And
18 because Ben Rice in the late inning, but it was 17.
Yeah, it is 18, but a lot of concerns from the fans and people is that they didn't think that we were going to be able to hit the long ball without Stanton and Soto in our lineup. Well, I guess we have the torpedo bat equalizer.
Yeah, and I mean
so that'll give the other teams more reasons to cry about the Yankees cheating and all this other BS. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, you've had guys like IKF, over the years just run into a home run here and there, so you've got you've got your people, but I mean, even though we lost opportunities last night with situational, we had like runner on second and third with like 1 out or 0 out, whatever. After Volpe homer, and
we went. We went 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position yesterday. And this was a point that I brought up earlier that Chris Flash has highlighted. The first 4 hitters went 0 for 15. That doesn't happen often. And Chris, those 0 0 for 15 at bats ended up in 9 strikeouts.
Yeah.
Bellinger was the only one that got on, and that was via the walk, and he ended up stealing a base.
Right, and also the thing with Goldie and Bellinger, I don't foresee us having these over 15s consistently throughout, games like we did in the past. Because Bellinger and Goldschmidt, they're career professional hitters. Goldie, he built pretty much a borderline Hall of Fame resume in his career so far. As a first baseman. And then, Cody Bellinger, both of them are all coming off of MVP. They're only a few years removed from MVP seasons.
Yep.
So,
and I will highlight a comment from Cold Italian Pizza. Last night's game was winnable. No one said that it was going to be a cakewalk. And for my last live stream, I said that this was going to be a serious test for the Yankees. We are matching up against a team who has outstanding pitching. They have a solid bullpen. They don't hit a lot of long balls, but they take advantage of their speed, and they run like no tomorrow, taking extra bases and stealing.
Yeah.
So that's going to stress the outfield, making sure that they play the ball cleanly, get the ball into the cutoff guys, and prevent the Diamondbacks from running crazy on us. When steal attempts are made, the pitchers are going to have to hold runners closer than they have been. And this freaking rule of only 2 throwovers to the bag hinders that.
Yeah.
Austin Wells, he has to be better with his pop time and getting his release on target. Because if it skips into the outfield, those guys are going from second to third without a doubt. Because I watched almost every Diamondback game with my son, and that's a common theme. The other thing that's troubling for me is the Diamondbacks score a lot of runs after the 7th inning. So they may not be successful against your starter, but they tend to eat bullpens up.
Yeah, they're a pesky team, no doubt about it. I've seen some of the games, and it'll be like 3-1 or 2-1 in the 7th inning or whatever, and then all of a sudden they pop a 4 spot, 5 spot. Yeah, and a lot of that was just they manufactured the first run, and then it just turned into a big inning after that. I think it was against the Cubs where majority of the runs scored in those games was late inning runs.
Yep. Chris Flash brings up one that I was highly annoyed with yesterday, is the umpire calls that they called for strikes that were off the plate or low, and we didn't have an ABS system to check their asses on, so they continued making the. They were consistent. They made bad calls for them. They made bad calls for us.
But there were other times where he called it. It'd be like almost in the dirt. He calls it a strike or just below the zone. But then the next time the pitcher goes there, it's a ball. And it was just like, I know it was frustrating for the hitters and because how do you know to lay off it if he's called it a couple times a strike, you don't know if he's going to call it a strike or a ball. And yeah, the one in particular with Judge below his knee, and he called it a strike, rung him out on it.
Yep. And that's something that Judge has faced his entire career because of his height and umpires not truly adjusting for it. But these guys with their inconsistent calling is going to be a justification that I think the players union will support, bringing the ABS system on in a limited capacity. I am not sure that we actually have to have it as part of in conjunction with the collective bargaining agreement, because the pitch clock came in and that was after our CBA. So this may be something that can be implemented for next season. I don't see that they would do it middle season.
Yeah,
and a lot of the minor league parks, like here in Virginia Beach, the Tides have been using the ABS system for a few years. They do it two different ways because the teams play 6-game series, and the first 3 games of the series are done with ABS assist. So the umpires are making primary calls, but they can challenge it, and the challenges go quick, as you saw during spring training. Within a matter of seconds, they can tell you whether you were right or wrong, and then play continues. So it's not really delaying play or changing the rhythm of the game. The second 3 games, they go full Death Star mode with the ABS, and the ABS is making all of the calls. Fans don't care for it. Players don't care for it. And I damn sure don't think the umps care for it.
No. Because, you take away too much of the human element in the game, then it's going to be – because here's the thing. If an ABS system and it's totally robot, it calls something a ball, but the batter swung at it. How does the robot know that it's,
I see Mario has joined us. Welcome, brother. Appreciate you hopping into the live stream.
I thought the home plate umpire last night either graduated from the school of Angel Hernandez, or like Ace even joked about it on the live stream. Maybe it was a mask, Angel Hernandez in disguise, like Scooby-Doo. You pull off the mask. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, the calling didn't help us yesterday, but we did things that we didn't take advantage of. Yeah. No, runners in scoring position, no productivity out of the top of the lineup.
And then boom, the last two, like the taking Jason Dominguez out in the 6th. I know he's been doing it every game, so it's kind of and I understand some of it, but then you could have used the switch at bat instead of having all 3 lefties for the 9th inning. But then but what really scratched my head was you sub in Pablo Reyes, the pinch hit for Cabrera for the final AB.
Well, I think that the reason that Boone pulled that one is Cabrera hits right-handers well. AJ Puck's a left-hander, and he hits in left-handers like ass. Pablo Reyes had a strong spring training with regard to his bat. And that's probably why he's on our major league roster to begin with, is the right-handed at-bats.
Yeah.
Didn't look good last night. It happens. Not every pinch hitter is going to step up and get it done. However, it didn't help our situation out. But for you to keep these guys game ready, you have to put them in games.
That is true.
And with regard to the Dominguez poll, Boone, he made a decision. I'm not gonna argue with the manager's decision. Game time. It's easy as hell to hold on a sec. It's easy as hell to make a narrative or a commentary after the fact. If the Eugenio Suarez hit that just went over the top of Bellinger's glove is flagged by Bellinger, all of a sudden Boone is a freaking genius.
Oh yeah. And,
So
I mean, yeah. I mean,
no manager makes 100% of the calls correctly, and Boone is not any different than any of the rest of the managers in the league.
oh yeah.
Because he's in New York, they seem to be amplified. Plus, New York fans have a duality in hate for Boone and Cashman. So
Yeah.
you can anticipate that any decision that Boone makes that's questionable, it's going to be magnified in the New York media.
Oh, no doubt. Because I mean, it's like that. It's gonna be like that for the guy that comes after Boone. If Boone, whenever Boone does decide to leave, or he's told, "Hey, we're gonna have to part ways," or whatever the case is. But yeah, you're right, and no manager has foresight. What's gonna happen next. And I understand it. It was just kind of like, and I do understand with Grisham because yeah, you usually want to have the best defense, especially the late innings, because you want to secure the win. And Grish got popped with his bat, so it just
Grisham last night had that diving slash trap that I don't think there's another outfielder in the league that could have come close to doing what he did.
No, the last one I seen that done that was Brett Gardner, and he's retired.
But long and short, you're not going to find a 4 outfielder who has a better glove defensively than Grisham. And I mean, we've got him for $5 million for the season,
right?
And
So
we'll end up. I don't think that the Yankees will bring him back. However, it's a possibility. We'll see.
yeah,
But the play for last night's game, we did good things. We did bad things. No team is going to win 162 games, obviously. So we screwed it up at game 4. We failed to win our 4th game. But the important thing is to take two out of 3 and cap a series win.
Yeah.
And today, with our number 2 pitcher, Carlos Rodon, he's got to get it done or we're dead in the water. And then we have Carrasco, Cookie coming up tomorrow. So basically the way that the rotation ended up for this series against the Diamondbacks, we ended up showing our 2, 4, and 5 pitchers against their 1, 1A, and 2 pitchers. So we're a little bit of a disadvantage there.
There's a little bit, but I mean Warren held his own against Burns. I mean, I know you're not technically pitching against the other pitcher because you're pitching against their lineup, but he held his own. I matched him toe for toe. We were grinding out at bats against Burns.
Actually, Warren outlasted Burns.
Right.
Burns only made 4 1/3 innings, and Warren got his 5. I'm bringing up a comment from Mario. Diamondbacks are good. Dodgers will have problems with the Snakes.
Oh yeah.
Mario, in X, there was a couple of polls from other sports networks that asked folks where they thought people would finish the division for each of the divisions in both leagues. And I made a commentary that the Diamondbacks were going to shock the world and they were going to take the NL West. You should have seen the freaking Dodgers fans that came crawling out of the woodworks about how bad the Diamondbacks were. The Dodgers own them, blah, blah, blah. And then I made the follow-up thread that said, well, wasn't it 2 seasons ago that the Diamondbacks faced off against the Dodgers in the postseason, swept them, and ended up going to the World Series? Radio freaking silence. No commentary, no narrative.
Well, that and the Padres. I mean, the Priests down in San Diego, they're 5-0. So that's I see those two teams giving the Dodgers a run for their money. The Padres and the Snakes. The Diamondbacks.
I mean, honestly, I would not be surprised if two wildcard teams came out of the AL or NL West.
Well, I wouldn't. Just like I wouldn't be surprised if two of the wild card teams comes out of the AL East, even though a couple of teams are really struggling right now. But
well, let's see. The Red Sox, who are designated our primary opponent, is not playing well. Devers, I want to say, is 0 for 18 with like 15 strikeouts. He is doing horrible. There's some fan speculation that he's bagging it because he's pissed about not playing third, which is bullshit. But
no, Devers is a slow starter usually. That's kind of how he is. But I mean, but and they're playing a little more hype because of the whole Bregman drama. And
did you see the Bregman play in yesterday's game?
No, I didn't see it.
Bregman goes to the shortstop position and feels the ball. He face plants. I mean, his face buried into the dirt as he stumbles and flips the ball past the second baseman into the outfielder. He ended up having a cut on the top of his nose, and there was speculation that he actually broke his nose on that play. But he looked like ass.
Yeah, I mean, Bregman is a good player, no doubt about it. But I think a lot of it, I mean, they may have overpaid for him, but
$40 million? Are you shitting me? They did overpay for him. That dude is not worth the.
But they're looking at him to be clutch during the playoffs. That's what he usually did in Houston, but he didn't. His regular season was like, but
well, it is important. Nobody wins the World Series or makes the playoffs in the first month of the game, but it certainly doesn't hurt to have a good start to give yourself a cushion. And I hate the Yankees schedule this year. We start at home. The first three opponents that we face off against are all NL teams.
Mm-hmm.
Then the first team that we face off against that's American League is going to be the Detroit Tigers, and I believe we're in their house when we do it.
Right.
We have a challenge with the Diamondbacks because of their versatility as a team, and it's definitely going to be a test for us and how our season is going to go. But when we roll up to Pittsburgh later in the week, we are going to face some serious arms coming out of the rotation then, and that is going to torpedo bats be damned. You're gonna see some guys that throw triple digits and are always around the strike zone. So
yeah, I mean, Pittsburgh has always been, or for the last 20 some odd years, has been a pitching factory. I mean, Cole, he started out of Pittsburgh. I mean, after he graduated from UCLA, but he was drafted by Pittsburgh. They had other guys, and they just always had this, big arms and just this factory of they could produce guys, and then they stay with the young recruit prospects, and then they're the ones that they already thing up, they let them go somewhere else, and they prosper somewhere else.
Well, they're one of the teams that does not spend money whatsoever. They lost Cole. Uh, Eventually, they're going to lose Skeens. They've
Oh
lost
yeah,
some of their big bats because of that.
no doubt about it. Because I mean, if he keeps building off of last year, imagine 5 or 6 years when his rookie contract's up, right? His free agent, his bag's going to be, especially because the way the market is right now, and it's going to be, you're looking at a 200, 300, or whatever.
So, Chad, I see some comments. How do you guys feel about tonight's game? Do you think we're going to take it to the house, or you think we're going to see a similar result to what we saw last night? We break out early and then end up coughing it up in the later innings, especially since our closer, Devin Williams, is on paternity leave.
Well, I think we're going to have revenge tonight. And it may even still end up a close game because the Diamondbacks are a good team and they're a pesky team, so they're gonna keep clawing. But we're gonna come in hunger, and I think our bullpen is gonna bounce back from it, and they're gonna hold it down tonight. But the first 3 innings will be key. How we grind it out, but also the way Rodon pitches. Because, Rodon, I believe he's going to be strong. He's going to deal. But if he's going to get shelled in a game, it's usually that first 3 innings.
Okay. We have Mario. His comment is all up to the captain. Well, we definitely need hitting, that's for sure.
Well, yeah. I mean, but remember, one of his three homer games in his career was against the Diamondbacks. But I don't know if they had much pitching back then. But that was in 23 when he had two of them within a month of each other. One was against the Nationals and the other was against the Diamondbacks.
Yep.
So he's.
And then we have a comment from FJ. Rodon needs to go 6. The longer Rodon goes, the better it is for us.
Yeah.
Our bullpen has been used a lot in the first 3 games of the season. Being that Rodon went 5 1/3 the first game, so the pitchers had, or the bullpen had to pick up 3 1/3 on him, or 3 2/3. Stroman went 4 1/3 or 4 2/3. So bullpen had to pick up 4 1/3 there. And same thing with Freed. He only went 4 2/3 also.
Yeah.
So
if
the bullpen may be stressed a bit.
Yeah. I think Rodon will pick it up, but it'll definitely really help if he gets us into the 7th. Whether he goes 6 solid, and then they put in a guy, or if, he goes one batter into the 7th. That will be.
Well, right now we have Dreamweaver, who's going to close out games for us. What the bridge is to get to him, I'm not sure.
Well, or Cruz, how many? He went like 2, almost 3 innings, so he might not be available. But
Yep. Cruz went 2 last night. If Cruz comes into the game, he's probably only going to be there for an inning or so.
Yeah. I would probably go with Hill, because Hill can be crafty, even if even though his command was shaky last night, with all those walks, but Lighter splitter was nasty though. It's just he had left one hanging, and Suarez took advantage of it. you leave one hanging, and we may. And FJ's right. You might even see Yarbrough in there, and I wouldn't be surprised if you go Rodon, Yarbrough, and then Weaver.
May see Ottavino also.
Yeah.
He is. Mario Loizaga is still rehabbing, and we're not anticipating seeing him until late April, early May.
He'll probably be back August, September. Because when he had Tommy John last season, right? Middle to late last season.
Loizaga, when he's on the field, he has closer stuff. And he is certainly going to be that when he gets back into the swing, part of the bridge that gets to the closer.
Oh, yeah, no doubt about it.
He may even take spot closing spots. He is an excellent pitcher, and a lot of fans weren't happy that they brought him back, but I wasn't one of them. I was glad to see them bring him back.
Well,
hopefully he works back to his normal form, and he is the pitcher that he was before he went down with the TJ.
Yeah, and then Yarbrough, one thing about him is he's a Swiss Army pitcher. You know, he's a guy that's done almost all the roles. You know, Tampa Bay used him as an opener, either setup man. I think he might even close some games when Fairbanks was unavailable. You've seen them all different types, and then even the Blue Jays used them in different roles. So
I think that our bullpen is good. We have quality arms out in the pen. They're not the ones that we're gonna end up having when it comes to the August-September time frame in the postseason. We still have a lot of guys that are sitting on the injured list that will make their way back. Jake Cousins being one of the foremost ones.
That we'll see Efros ever make it back to the field.
I don't know. I don't have much confidence in Efros. I mean, for the time that we saw him,
he looked okay when we got him from the Cubs, and then he had that injury.
Wow. I just seen a note come up that the Red Sox signed infielder/outfielder Christian Campbell, the MLB's number 6 overall prospect, to an 8-year deal through 2032 with a club option for 33 and 34.
Yeah, and then there's a trend. There's a trend in baseball where they're locking up these prospects / young guys while they're young and they're on the cheap. You know, what was it? The Royals did it last year with Bobby Witt Jr., their up and coming young shortstop superstar. But they signed him to like a 14-year deal. And then the Braves, of course, they've always done it with Albies and all those guys that they've locked up. Their nucleus guys. Different other teams have done it, and there's even talk of whether there's a question of should the Yankees lock up Wells and Volpe to a semi-long-term contract, or extend them while they're on the cheap.
That was a video that Jason from 161 River Ave dropped earlier today. Was thoughts about the Yankees extending these guys in the pre-arb years. Honestly, the Yankees haven't had a lot of success extending players. The last one that we really tried to do was Luis Severino.
Mm-hmm.
And when we signed him, or extended him, he became broke.
Yeah.
He was injured for most of the term on that extension. So that's why I think the Yankees are gun shy. However, with regard to Austin Wells, he is definitely looking like he's going to be the premier catcher for the Yankees for years to come. So extending him would not be a good thing or would not be a bad thing. With regard to Volpe, not sure yet with him because you've got Arias and Lombard Jr. coming up in the pipe behind him. Both of them are talented shortstops. You're looking at, in my opinion, I think Lombard Jr. showing up in the major leagues in the 27th season.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if later on, let's say we did lock up Volpe and or extend them, Volpe and Wells. You could theoretically move Volpe to second or third, and let Lombard or Arias come. Lombard, let's say, let him take a crack at shortstop. And Volpe has shown that he can play second. He's not, and he has done it a few times. But because the question is, in a couple years when Jazz, do we re-sign him? And then like with Wells in the catcher position, I mean, didn't we extend Posada during his rookie thing during the core?
Yes.
Yeah. So I remember with Jeter, we kind of did those like extensions and then delay their free agency with the core.
Comment
guy.
from Mario, I believe with regard to Wells, Minnie Thurman. I have said that I don't know how many times, not because of his play, but the way he looks with his mustache and everything else.
It's the total, Tom Selleck, Magnum PI, and even sometimes it gives me the vibes of Sam Elliott, with the thick mustache, especially when Sam Elliott was younger in the Westerns.
Yeah. Jonathan brings up that he would extend Wells after this year. Do not disagree with that one at all.
I wouldn't be opposed, and even with Volpe, I would wait, see what this year is.
Volpe has 3 hits, and they're 3 home runs. It'd be nice to see Anthony come out and actually get other hits.
Right, get other hits, but also get more consistent contact and hitting, and then I want to see him really get back to the proud. Like his rookie year, he was a menace on the bases. I remember this was really the first or second game against San Francisco, and he remember he stole the 2 bags back to back, stole second, and then he stole third. Not even like 2 pitches later, and then it got the pitcher, and then the pitcher threw a wild pitch, and Volpe got made it home, and because Volpe has that tool set and he has the speed, but he also has that base running instinct where he's an intelligent base runner. I want to see him more like when they had him leading off in front of Judge and thing. It was kind of like Boone was holding him back from, base running because, he didn't want to distract Judge too much or, it's kind of that whole.
Bring a question/comment from Cold Italian Pizza. Ken, any plans on calling a game through this season? Yeah, I'm sure I will call something. There are a lot of content creators that are calling play-by-plays. I may give it a shot. I did some preseason games. As a matter of fact, I called the opening game for the Dodgers and the Cubs, and actually had, I want to say, like 170 views on that, and I had maybe 20 people viewing the live stream. So, yeah, it's something that I'll think about.
Yeah.
And Mario, comment from him. Notice that we have a running team this year. I agree with you. we have definitely added players that have a speed element to them, and the way that the rest of the league is moving, they're moving towards uh, more of a prototypical hit and run type team, taking the extra bases, and I can see that the Yankees are shifting that way. And I mean, we've got a handful of people that could possibly provide us with 20 home runs in the season, and many more avenues that we can score runs with good situational hitting, productive outs. Uh,
I mean, you look at how since we gotten bigger bases, um, you've gotten guys that are getting like 40, 50 steals a game in the league. Ellie De La Cruz. Uh, what's his name that did 40, 70? Acuna, whatever,
Acuna, you have the big gun from the Dodgers, Otani.
Yeah,
It's
he
a
did
50-50 guy.
season, yeah.
So you're seeing a shift where, because of the bag size, the limiting number of throwers to first or second base with the disengagements, uh, it's inviting teams to utilize the stolen base aspect. I mean, hell, uh, stolen bases for years was was a thing of the past.
Mm-hmm.
Ricky Henderson, the prototypical base stealer. I mean, that dude would get on any which way but loose, and then steal until he couldn't steal anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean he still has
And
the record for the most steals in the season. I think it's like 80
yeah,
something.
and I think that his record is unbreakable.
Yeah.
Just like I think that Joe DiMaggio's 56 game hitting streak will never be broken.
Oh no, because I mean the closest to DiMaggio's record for 56 is Pete Rose's 44.
But even in Pete Rose's time frame, starters would throw complete games.
Right.
Nowadays, the way rotations are built, you're built to throw 5 innings, and then you bring in these knuckleheads that throw 100 plus miles an hour. So
Right.
getting
And
a
then,
late inning cheap shot is probably not in the cards.
and then also you get to close to 30 games hit streak. Like I seen with DJ LeMahieu, he had one. And the way they come at you and pitch at you, like they try and they'll intentionally walk you or they'll pitch away from you to try and make it harder for you to get a hit.
And another comment from Mario: when you run, it puts pressure on the pitchers. Well, that is definitely a fact of life.
Oh, I mean, no doubt about it. I mean, we all heard about the stories with Jackie Robinson in his day, and that was one of his ways that he would get back from the pitchers throwing at him, And other stuff was he would just get on, steal a bag, steal third, and then when the pitcher's really mad, he'd take a big old lead, and then he'd steal home.
Well, last year the Red Sox definitely had the speed component. They ran a lot as a team, but they didn't score a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The secondary caveat with regard to the Yankees is we have just as many speed guys on our team, but we also have contact hitters now that will put the ball in play and afford us the opportunity to score runs. I tend to think that we're gonna average over 5 runs a game with the way our offense rolls.
Oh yeah.
During spring training, we were averaging 6.75 runs a game, and with the big, it's an anomaly because of all the damn home runs and runs we scored at the beginning. We were at 12 runs for the first 3 games, and obviously that's not sustainable.
No.
But
I mean,
even though we did hit a lot of home runs in the first 3 games, we still used our speed component. We took the extra
right.
bases, good situational hitting, even productive outs, advancing runners and putting them into scoring position. And that is going to be a factor with the 2025 Yankees. Regardless of how good the pitcher may be, when you've got guys that can bunt, that can make contact and drive a ball, may not be a home run, but into the gap and take the extra base, we will do fine.
Oh,
All right. Go ahead, Sean.
yeah, I mean, I have no doubt with our offense. I think we'll be fine. We're just getting more into the because I mean, yeah, you're not gonna score 10 runs a game every game, you know. But I mean, even if we score like five runs or whatever, 5+ runs a game, that will be fun. We just got to keep them from scoring more. But I don't want to just see home runs. I want to see more of the small ball manufacturing. I would love to see more hit and runs, but I'm not worried with our offense. Our starting pitching, I think, will be fine. I mean, it sucks that we won't have Cole for the whole season. And then Hill and Schmidt, as long as we don't rush them back, I think we'll be fine. And with the bullpen, we're gonna have our lumps like we did last night, but I mean, I'm not too worried as a team. We just gotta keep at it, keep consistent.
All right, fellas. We've run this stream for a little over an hour or so we're going to close it up. I want to thank Sean for hopping up and adding light to some of the topics that we talked about with regard to the game last night and the upcoming game tonight. Like I said, the game time is 7:05. It's being broadcast on Amazon Prime. I truly hate their broadcasters, so I recommend listening in on one of the secondary play-by-play commentators like the Ace, NFE, and Max Coverage.
I thought with Amazon Prime they have like they allow the home team and away teams, the different teams broadcasting. That is Apple TV that does that. They have their own broadcasters, which is terrible.
Okay. But if you haven't, please hit the like button, make comments afterwards, and I will do my best to answer whatever comments come out there. We're a small family. We only have 71 subscribers or so. So if you think that there is anybody out there that would gain value from our show, please recommend them. I want to thank you for supporting us today and popping into the stream. Last words are, let's go Yankees. Let's get a win tonight. And we will catch y'all later.